The last presentation I attended the first day was a presentation from Martin Shaw. He is a portfolio management domain manager at SimCorp company. And the presentation was about the front office trends and strategy for the coming years. Martin mentioned there are a few main components, there are 4 of them. First of all, it's called liquidity. Then it's about data automation. Then it's about workflow. And the last but not least is about system performance. And the liquidity component Martin mentioned, for example, such elements as the equity conversion, also characteristic trading, order making. And I will tell you a little bit more about those ones. For example, characteristic trading. Well, it's well known the way actually traders trend bonds or get bonds for their strategy. Sometimes it's not just like, okay, well, I want to trade this bond with this specific eyes, and quite often it's about, okay, well, I need a bond with this duration, with a specific lifetime period, with this key ratio, clean price and yield, as well as, maybe this, and, rating can be, or business classification. So mainly, traders choose bonds to trade based on characteristics, not just based on the ISIN. So, in the front office, Martin showed us there are going to be a new development which is about characteristic trading. It will be possible to pick up characteristic, key ratios, ratings, business classification, set the range, and then system will propose you bonds to trade, which is, I think, a great innovation. Also, there was mentioned like equity conversion. Basically it's about decomposition of equity into the holding company as well, so you can immediately see your exposure and effect right away in your analysis, instead of just seeing it's like an equity. So basically you take into account the corporate actions related to this equity in the future as well. And that's also quite interesting for people who deal with this type of financial instruments. Besides, if we talk about the second part, or data management, data automation it was called. And in data automations, Martin mentioned also API, application programming interfaces. Front office does use APIs, and the main idea there is like many traders, they just want to get all data like portfolio screenshot with order simulations, export everything to their own tool, maybe external tool, analyze strategies there, make some decisions, and then get everything back to Dimension very fast and effectively. So many of these APIs that already exist. The coming API about getting portfolio data easily, out and into Dimension, that was mentioned as a coming and improving point. But in general, I think it's also a very useful tool, because indeed many traders, they have own tools written in Python, C#, and they want to also analyze data there. And how beautiful it would be if you can just get data out very fast, work with it, and get results back. From the third pillar of this roadmap for a front office, there was mentioned the workflow. And in the workflow, we can see also cash viewer. The cash viewer is something what Dimension will have in the future, the front office tool, in the asset manager. It will be possible to see your cash per instrument type, for instance, per currency. It can be seen balance per date as well. And then when you click on every balance on the date, you can also see the extended information about what those cash balance consists of, what movements you had. I think it's also very important for front office asset managers to be able to manage the cash they have. Also, Martin mentioned like within workflow improvement, there are going to be possibility to use hash strategies also. And within hash strategies, it was mentioned also the spread hash strategies, because hedging is important part of front office, and SimCorp gonna provide some solutions within front office for that part also. There was also mentioned the block trade improvements, and in the block trade there was something like about new OTC instruments type will be added. Also, it will be possible to see different distributions, like asset under management type of distributions or across portfolios distributions. So it will be more useful to control your block trades across portfolios as well. Last but not least, it was about system performance improvements. I also will tell about more system performance in the future episodes regarding IUCM from SimCorp. I heard an interesting presentation about order management also. In general, in the system performance improvements, because as we know, front office tool must be fast, not only effective but also fast. As front office, seconds, minutes play a role there. It was mentioned like the main components of this pillar that front office actually will use the separate thread, also the load balancing improvement, the online update of figures or online calculation of figures was changed or removed from there. So now it will be more fast and less hanging when something happens, like prices updates or etc. So all these things have been solved and or are planned to be solved in the future versions. So I'm pleased to see that they really work hard to get front office to the fastest area and the fastest league they can, and it should be nowadays to compete on the market on time. You don't want to miss the next episode of our series, and that's going to be an overview of everything what's going to happen in the roadmap for SimCorp as a system entirely. What I like about the presentations are going to be main market drivers, 6 main market drivers of nowadays, and then 6 solutions from SimCorp side to solve those market drivers. Ladies and gentlemen, 6. It's a lot. It almost covers all your business. So please be sure you're not going to miss that one. And we will see how many parts we're going to present it into, because it was a very long presentation, but very useful and very exciting information you can find there about what expects SimCorp Dimension and what expects you as a client in the coming future.